Gather around, my Kikomatas, cause I'm here to read you your bedtime story. You better be all snuggled up, cause here we go. This is My Immortal by Tara Gilesbie. Chapter 1. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like lipid tears. And a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. I'm not related to Jared Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have a pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today, I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. "Hey, Ebony," shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me, and I had to go away. Chapter 2. The next day I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on my black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend Willow woke up then and grinned at me. She flipped her long waist-length raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Monroe t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. OMFG. "I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday," she said excitingly. "Yeah? So?" I said, blushing. "Do you like Draco?" she asked as we went out of our Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. "No, I so fucking don't," I shouted. "Yeah, right," she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. "Hi," he said. "Hi," I replied flirtedly. "Guess what?" he said. "What?" I asked. "Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade," he told me. "Oh my," fucking god, I screamed. I love GC. They are my favorite band besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped. Chapter 3. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then, I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff on the back and front. I put on matching fishnets on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some GC. I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. Then, I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. A baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666 and flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in cold, you're covered in blood. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mother. She sets you free into this life, sang Joel. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked, as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. Really, I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that little bitch, I said disgustingly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got a GC concert tease. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove his car into the Forbidden Forest. Chapter 4. Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Ebony? He asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing colored contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness, and then suddenly, I didn't feel mad anymore. And then, suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately, Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took off my top and I took off his clothes. I even took off my bra. And then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time. Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere and my pale body became so warm. And then, what the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers? It was Dumbledore. Chapter 5. Dumbledore made and Draco and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. You ludicrous fools, he shouted. I started to cry tears of blood down my pallid face. Draco comforted me. When we went back to the castle, Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest, he yelled in a furious voice. Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall. How dare you? Demanded Professor Snape. And then Draco shrieked, Because I love her. Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said, Fine. Very well. You may go up to your rooms. Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. Are you okay, Ebony? Draco asked me gently. Yeah, I guess, I lied. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut black floor-length dress with red lace all around it and black high heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom and he started to sing, I Just Wanna Live by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, and even though he wasn't supposed to be there, we hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight, and he reluctantly went back into his room. Chapter 6. The next day I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was all ripped around the end, and a matching top with red skulls all over it, and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray-painted my hair purple. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk, and a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair and red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that I was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko." "I'm so sorry," he said in a shy voice. "That's all right. What's your name?" I questioned. "My name's Harry Potter. Although most people call me Vampire these days," he grumbled. "Why?" I exclaimed. "Because I love the taste of human blood," he giggled. "Well, I am a vampire," I confessed. "Really?" he whimpered. "Yeah," I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. Chapter 7. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist sings on my nails in red nail polish. I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was just jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitingly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then, we started Frenching passionately, and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra and he took off his pants. We went onto the bed and started making out naked. And then he put his boy's thingy in mine, and we had sex! "Oh, Draco, Draco," I screamed while getting an orgasm when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it, and on it in bloody Gothic writing were the words, "Vampire." I was so angry. "You bastard!" I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand," Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. "No, you fucking idiot," I shouted. "You probably have AIDS anyway." I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom, where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. "Vampire Potter, you motherfucker!" I yelled. Chapter 8. Everyone in class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back. "Ebony, it's not what you think," Draco screamed sadly. My friend Bloody Mary Smith smiled at me understatedly. She flipped her long, waist-length, gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires and one of them is a witch. But Voldemort killed her mother and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she is very haunted and depressed. It also turns out her real last name is Smith, not Granger. Since she was converted to Satanism, she is in Slytherin, not Gryffindor. "What is that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit?" Snap demeaned angrily in his voice, but I ignored him. "Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco," I shouted at him. Everyone gasped. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so is Ebony. For a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. and he had gone through horrible problems, and now he was gothic. Haha, like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire. Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard, I screamed. I ran out of the room and into the forbidden forest, where I had lost my fertility to Draco, and then I started to burst into tears. Chapter 9. I was so mad and sad I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then, all of a suddenly, a horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort. No! I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, Imperseus! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks, I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Ebony yelled, Thou must kill Vampire Potter. I thought about Vampire and his sexa eyes, and his gothic black hair, and how his face looked just like Joel Madden. I remembered that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him, and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so retarded look on his face. I hath the telekinesis, he answered cruelly. And if you doth not kill Vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad, I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi. Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram between Joel Madden and Jared Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I explained. That's okay, he said, all depressed, and he went back into Hogwarts together, making out. Chapter 10. I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset, went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I am the lead singer of it, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diablo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it, and Hagrid. Only today, Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way to kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a steak. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs, and tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song I suddenly bust into tears. "Ebony, are you okay?" Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. "What the fuck do you think?" I asked angrily. And then I said, "Well, Voldemort came, and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry. But I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco." I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. "Why didn't you fucking tell me?" he shouted. "How could you? You fucking poser muggle bitch." I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for one more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't 'cause he had a headache. "What have you done?" He started to cry wisely. "Ebony, Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists." Chapter 11. "No!" I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room, 'cause he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a stake and I almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it sadly. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks. "Ooh, you fucking pervs. Stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what?" I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. "Abracadabra," he yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times. They both started screaming and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. "Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has—" "No!" he shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand and suddenly Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk." "What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student." "I may be a Hogwarts student," Hagrid paused angrily, "but I am also a Satanist." "This cannot be," Snape said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. "There must be other factors." "You don't have any," I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. "The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there." I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. "Why are you doing this?" Lupin said angrily, while he rubbed his dirty hands on his clock. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked and happy, or to bite him and drink his blood, because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air, then swooped he in singing to the tune of a gothic verse of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're Gothic, Snap asked in a little afraid voice. 'Cause he was afraid, it meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her. Well, my Kikomatas, I hope you enjoyed story time and you have nice, sweet dreams tonight. I'll see you soon. Maybe in a dream. Or maybe in a nightmare.